10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome back to my channel. We are so excited you are here. Woo-hoo! And welcome back to Bestie's Night-In with my girl, Mia.
Hey, y'all.
Woo! And me and Mia have had quite a day today. And so we're excited that this is the end of the day. How are y'all doing? Leave it in the comment section. And of course, like I said, welcome back. We're glad you're here. If you are new to the channel, it's your first time checking us out here, hey, welcome to the family. I'm so excited you are here. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, become part of the family. Just go ahead and do it. Just take that chance. I'm sure you'll have a good time. So, we like to have a nice, relaxing time here for Bestie's Night-In. And yeah, here we go. Cheers to that. And so we're just so excited because we are going to be talking about love today. Because, what we're doing here is we're giving love advice our way.
Okay.
So, yes, I'm super excited. Mia, are you super excited?
Yes, I'm ready.
Yeah. Okay, well, of course, we have to start off the night with cocktails of the night. Woo! Mia, why don't you go ahead and show yours first because you got color on yours.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I know that you are all wondering what I am partaking in on tonight.
We are.
Well, I'm actually just drinking orange, pineapple, mango.
Oh, I like that though. That's a good flavor mix. Mm-hmm. Very summertime. Mm-hmm. You're getting it with these drinks these last 3 weeks, though. I mean, we got the limeade twist. You had something with a twist in the orange, but you didn't want to share what the twist was. You said it was a twist, a little bit of that, and a little bit of this.
Yes.
And now you got this with the mango and the orange and the what was the other one? Pineapple? Mm-hmm. Girl, I am scared of you. Me, on the other hand, because I didn't have no time to go get anything, I decided I was going to drink water. But I have it in the festive cup. See? I'm semi-participating.
That's so cute.
And, look, this is one of my favorite cups now. Glasses here. Oh, yeah. She's got to have her close-up now. Close up. There we go. And because this is my birthday gift from Mia this year. So I love this glass. It's so cute. And it's perfect for these times for the evening. So, yeah. But I tell y'all, look, we, both of us, me and Mia, have been talking a lot over the last few days. And so my vocal cords are saying, thank you so much for bringing us water. And so, look, I'm just doing a little bit of goodness here and there when I can. I don't think I'm going to be that good next week. So, hey, we'll see what happens. But like I say, if you are going to be participating in drinking alcoholic drinks, please remember that in the U.S., the drinking age is 21, and make sure that you are drinking responsibly and no drinking and driving. Okay. So now that we got the housekeeping out the way, we can get into tonight's really, because it's nighttime. It's tonight. We can get into tonight's festivities. So you ready for this, girl?
Yes, come on, let's bring it on.
Yes. All right, so here we go. Let's pop up these questions. Now, it's going to be interesting how this goes. We may go off the rails. We may stay on the rails. Who knows? Who cares? That's why it's called Bestie's Night-In. It's the same kind of shenanigans you get in, except for inside versus outside. So you get the drift. So here we go. Because I put my glasses on because I got to see. I don't know why I put this little writing on here, but God, help me, please. Anyway, so here we go. We are doing Let's Talk Love advice.
Ooh, love. It's exciting and new.
Oh, yeah.
Come aboard. We're expecting you. The love boat. Okay, I'm gonna stop.
Oh, come on! And some shiny and new. You got to bring it on home now. Come on. But that is perfect, because I think that's what we're going to be doing here. All right, are we ready? Drum roll. And I need to get a drum roll machine. So here we go. Number one. I really am nearsighted, so here we go. What would be the best 3 pieces of advice you would give someone before entering a relationship? Now, by the way, community, we want you to participate in this too, okay? So as we are going over the questions, be jotting those down in the comment section below. Yes. I will also have these questions in the description area if you should be partaking in, stuff that might make you remember. But it would be so fun to know what your thoughts are too. So we are supposed to be given 3 pieces of advice you would give someone before entering a relationship. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I think that's good. No, on the serious tip. Mia, do you want to take one of them or do you want me to start?
Sure. Honestly, I was going to say get out now. That's what I was going to say.
We are simpatico, girl. We are simpatico.
No. In all seriousness, I would say 3 things that have helped me in relationships as I have grown and matured in relationships. At one point in time, I was married. I was actually married for 17 years and divorced. So now I'm back into the single dating life. I have somebody special in my life and we're planning to get married again. So it's, me starting over at almost 50. So it's a little bit different than what it was when I was in my 20s. So I would say 3 things that are really key before getting into any relationship. For me, the first thing is you need to know who you are. You need to make sure that you have a clear understanding of your identity as a person. Because even though you're coming together as a couple, you still want to maintain your individuality. So just have a strong sense of purpose, of your goals, what it is you want to achieve, and don't lose that. So that'll be number 1.
Can I show you what my number 1 is?
Yeah.
No lie. Have a good sense of self.
Okay.
Is that what you just said?
Pretty much, yeah.
We are really in simpatico here. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what kind of juju was happening through this here internet. But
yeah, we just been through some things, okay? We've been through some things.
That's what it is.
Some things.
That's it. Okay, girl. I just had to put it out there. I'll elaborate a little bit more from my perspective, but go on with your number 2. I just had to do it because I mean, it's just too good. It's too good.
Yeah. But I mean that's really important, especially from a woman's point of view. Of course, I'm a woman. I can speak from a woman's point of view, because when you get into a serious relationship, and even if it goes into marriage, you find yourself doing everything for everybody else, and you become less and less of a priority. And that's really not a good place to be. That's not a healthy place to be. So you want to make sure that you are very, very intentional about who you are. So that's number 1. Number 2 is, I would say, having open, honest communication up front.
Of course. Because
you are bringing 2 different people together from 2 different backgrounds. And, there's going to be things that you agree upon. There's going to be things that you don't see eye to eye upon. But if you can be open and honest and have those healthy conversations early on in the relationship, it will only help you as you grow and, potentially may even go through some challenges together. So that's really important, because if you're not talking and he's not talking, and if he's not listening, you're not listening, then nothing's going to get accomplished. So you want to make sure that communication is there and it's healthy. And there might be even times you need to bring someone in as a mediator, depending upon what the subject is, to help you to do that conflict resolution. So that's okay to do that too. So that would absolutely be my number 2. And, you know, kind of going back to the communication, you need to be open about everything. I mean, everything.
Everything.
You need to be open.
Everything.
You need to be open about your likes, your dislikes.
Okay.
You need to be open about, you know, what your future goals are. Do you want to have children? Do you not want to have children? Do you want to live where you are at now? Do you want to move? Are you planning on changing careers, or are you satisfied with where you're at? You need to talk about, you know, intimacy, you know, sex. What is that going to look like? You know, because everybody has their own ideas and their own experiences. So you want to make sure you have those conversations and you know what the expectations are. Okay, just to kind of make it kind of simple. So that's really, really important. And I'm going to say number 3 would absolutely be finances. You got to be on one accord when it comes to finances. Doesn't mean that you have to know everything there is to know. But, you know, you definitely need to go into it having a plan. You need to know, does this person have good credit or no credit? You need to know, does this person know how to save, or do they just buy things on a whim? You need to know, does this person know the importance of investing and saving and preparing for retirement? That's important. So, you know, I hate to say this, but the days and times where now you might need to get a credit history on the person that you're with, you know, because people will tell you anything and you don't know. So it's, I mean, it's really important to talk about those things up front. You know, probably not the first night that you go out, not the first date. You know,
you should be don't chase the first night.
Don't scare them off.
I'm not giving you my life story on the first date because I don't know if there's going to be a second one. So I mean, straight up.
But if this is really a serious relationship and you all are considering having a committed one-on-one relationship, then those things I believe are important.
Right. Oh, I think those are so good. And so my take on some of those things you said, because then after that the video's over, because I mean, you know, I don't need to add nothing else. No, I'm just joking. I got three. So you talked about communication. I think that was very important. That was your number 2, knowing yourself. Well, we already talked about knowing yourself, right? And the communication, I think that is very important. You need to communicate. I mean, that's the only way you're going to be able to function coherently and cohesively whenever you have, you know, any situation going on. It could be just, you know, being able to be connected in that way, to be able to, you know, be like a friend as well as in the love department. I think that you tend to sometimes treat your friends maybe even better than you treat the ones that you say you love romantically. And so if you look at that person, or if they are like a friend to you, you may second guess doing certain things because this is not what you would do with a friend. Right. So I think that is really important. I know that kind of segues a little bit off of communication and goes right into how you treat others. But, you know, that communication is about being in connection and stuff is really where that pulls for me for. And then, of course, to know yourself, you know, and I'll go fully because mine is a good sense of yourself. So I'll go fully into that and kind of, you know, take both stones at the same time. If I can talk. Anyway, so, and then you said being open fully, just not on the first date. Only if it's in a full relationship, because you don't know if you're going to like them. That's what she said. That's great news.
Him or her, yeah.
Now, I don't know. Sometimes, you know, you may have a little secret or two, as long as it doesn't detriment the relationship. I mean, you know, there may be some things you may not want to share fully. And there might be some things you might not want to share fully either. But if it's got anything to do with safety, it has anything to do with security, has anything to do with detrimenting or not detrimenting, those are the things you need to be talking about.
Absolutely.
You know? You know, if you were a party animal, so to speak, I don't even know if that's even a term we use anymore. I don't know where that came from. I was flashing back to an 80s movie. I don't know why. But, you know, there might be certain things that, you know, maybe you don't want anybody to know that you were dancing on tables and really having a great time. I mean, still, you know, PG, but maybe you might not want to show. Those are the types of silly things we're talking about. Maybe you might not want to talk about, but all the important stuff, you better get to talking. Okay, that's number one, because that's where your honesty comes from, right? That transparency. You can't have a relationship without it. I mean, really, if you can't trust the person you're with, you can't trust that you're really, when you're in a relationship, in my opinion, yours to some degree, and more so are when you get to different stages of relationship, you are trusting your life with another human being.
It's true.
So, and I think often, because girl, I have to go back to it. I watch Snapped and Dateline 48 hours. You know what I'm saying? You need to make sure the person you with is really with you and not your demise. Saying straight up. I mean, I sit and I look at, my hubby and say, can you believe how many people go by the hands of who they're supposed to be in a relationship with? I mean, that is so sad that literally you could be dating or marrying, as like a lot of these unfortunate stories would be, you're Killer. And I'm spelling it out because I don't want to be flagged. But, I mean, you never know. And how sad it is when that is a situation. I mean, that's horrible. Here's someone you said you loved and cherished and that they would love to protect you and all that stuff. And next thing you know, what? So, that's definitely be open. And, you as the person getting into the relationship, for you, make sure that you are watching everything. Red flag, if the flag looks pink, you need to halt a little bit. Okay? If it's red, screaming red, we already know what you need to be doing.
Run.
Okay? Too many people in the world to be putting up with anybody's foolishness. So, just keep that in mind. But yes, I love those. Okay, so you ready for my 3?
Yes.
All right, so here we go. My 3 is, well, the first one is have a good sense of yourself. And I really feel that it's important for you to know who you are. And Mia, you touched on this in your description of what you felt it meant to know yourself. I think that if you are in a situation where you're in a relationship where you're giving so much of you and all of you that you start to lose your identity, that's a problem. And relationships are not meant, in my opinion, to be where they just suck every bit of you out of you. That's not the purpose of a relationship. A relationship is supposed to build you up. It's supposed to help and add to your life. It's not to take away from your life. So when you are thinking about, you see that guy out there and he looked all kinds of this, that, and the other, you need to look a little further and a little bit deeper. And I know that we're in a time now that for us, we're not dating like that. I'm not dating at all. Mia has already said, look, here's my time frame on that. There you go. So, but at the end of the day, when we were in that space and time, gosh, when you think about it, like sometimes now it's like really dangerous. I'm not saying it was like necessarily the safest when we were doing, that was our part of our life, but you just really have to be careful. And I know me personally, I'm not about the apps and stuff. That's just not my thing. I actually
tried that at one point in time. I don't know if I told you about the
apps. Yeah, I tried an app. Don't scare me.
I was desperate. I was desperate.
Full transparency.
I was desperate. I wanted to get in a relationship. I was like, well, this will probably be the best way to do it. Yeah. And boy, I met some
crazies. I mean, I think there might have been a time in the very, very beginning, because you know how when something starts off, it's good, right? And then somebody decides that, I think it'd be great to corrupt this. I think it would be wonderful. Let's be devious. Let's look at these people as not people who are trying to match with someone that has their same likes and sensibilities and interests. No, let's look at them as victims. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
So I can't do it. I mean, I'm not going to, and hopefully I will never be in a position where that's a fate that I would have to go around. Look, I'm going to be by myself, because that's my only choice. Okay. Done. Because it is sad. And it's still amazing to me at the same time. Like, what happened to just talking to somebody? Like, what happened to just, meeting with someone? And I know, like, even like when you shared that you had actually did that, the problem is like you're shaking your head, right? Because there ain't nobody. I mean, and the quality. You remember there was a time where when we go to the club, that'd be the place that people would say that was the worst place to meet someone, and especially a relationship was the club. Now when you walk out the door, I mean, things have changed dramatically.
Yeah.
There was a time where meeting someone at the supermarket was a cool thing to do, because it meant this, and this. Now I don't know what it means. Now you got to worry about people stalking you. Now you got to worry about are they watching too close and catching. I mean, it's just, what is happening? What is happening? I couldn't do it. Yeah. But at the end of the day, your intentions for when you tried it, which I commend you on trying it, because you never know. There are some stories, right? There are some good things, but again, all of the shared, still applies.
Yeah.
Even if you meet them online, you still got to be looking for the same things, right?
Yeah.
So, and like you said, you went out there, weren't impressed. So, and then look what ends up happening, right? So, thank God, because I don't have to come and get nobody behind you, because I will get somebody behind you.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. That was before I actually got married that I was doing that. So, but yeah, I did it, and I met some pretty interesting
yahoos, didn't you? You met some girl. Just say you met some yahoos. Interesting. Right? Yeah, they weren't interesting. Here's some yahoos.
Now, I will say there was one guy.
Was he nice?
He was so fine. Oh my God. He was a firefighter.
Oh, he was in service too. And a hero. I like a hero.
But he just, he just kind of fell off. I don't know what happened. I mean, we went out a couple of times and then he just kind of fell off. So I don't know if he was seeing somebody else or what was happening.
You know what happened? God said no.
Well, hey,
that's what happened.
He was
that's exactly what happened. God said, as you were looking at the servicemen of dreams,
he was
the man in uniform,
he
said, no, I looked under the hood. He's not ready for you. I got someone over here who is ready for you.
I say he was fine. Ooh, honey, he was fine.
And I bet you he was fine with a whole lot of drama behind it. How much you gonna bet? Especially if you knew.
That's a possibility.
Say it again.
I'm sorry.
Say it again. What you said? I missed it.
I said, yeah, that's probably right. I'm sure, but
them fine ones get you in trouble sometimes. They really do.
Lord, he was fine. Let's talk about something.
No, we don't want to hear
it. Sorry, I'm having a flashback, folks. My apologies. Excuse me.
And we'll drink to that.
I'm sorry. Excuse me.
So all the ones that were before. Oh, that was really funny. Look, no, I'm going to get out of that area. Get back thee. All right, so we talked about having a good sense of yourself, right? Because basically you shouldn't get wrapped up in anything, honestly. If you're not going to get wrapped up in a job, you should not get wrapped up in a relationship, especially when it ain't going nowhere. I think that a solid relationship with someone who is actually of quality for you is someone who's going to understand those things about you. They don't need to be your only and everything. They don't want to be your only and everything. We need outlets. So you need friends. You need family members who, and these are people who, are decent and you trust, not toxic people, none of that. You need your own posse of people as well, separate from those relationships. Sometimes you can get in a real way. Now, so there might be, some people might say, oh, no. When I get married, I hook right on in and I'm going to just be with this person and I ain't got, my friends are no longer and all this stuff. And I don't know not a single man who says the same thing. Let's ponder about that for a minute. So why do women say that? Why do women do that? I hope it's getting better in that department. You can have it all, ladies. You most certainly can. And you most certainly should. Okay? Because just believe, they do. You never hear a man say, I'm going to give up my best friend. Or I'm going to give up my crew that I go and play ball with, right? You never hear them say that. It doesn't even cross their minds. And if you try to have an attitude about it, they may be looking at you like, what's your problem? When you didn't left your friends 5 years ago. So have a good sense of yourself and keep that, that should never go away, no matter what you're doing. So let's see, next, know what you want. If you don't know what you want, how they gonna know what you want? Get an understanding about what kind of likes and dislikes you have, and really dig in deep on that, and take no prisoners on that. Ask for what you want, demand what you want, and if the person cannot, meet up to that standard, then that's not the person for you, because you're going to be miserable. I mean, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? What is the absolute point? I don't understand why you want to push something. It's like putting like a round object in a square peg, or whatever. It don't fit. So know what you want. Now, there was a time where we used to be very obsessed with writing lists, and you would never find the many qualities all in one person in this list, right? That just never happened because the list was too darn long. Okay, and I will say this. If you're going to ask for those things, okay, this might be a bit controversial. Hold on now. If you're going to ask for certain qualities, you yourself need to have those qualities too. Okay?
I agree with that.
Let's not get on the stick of, well, I need you to be doing this all the way down to here, but yet I can't be bothered to do A, B, and C. If you don't want that to be done to you, then you shouldn't do it to anybody else. So I'm thinking of a couple people in my head that would say, I want this man to be this and that and da da da. And I'm like, but you're not this and that and da da da. And we're not even talking about looks. Looks wasn't even the issue. We're talking about the quality of the person, what you think you're supposed to have. Now, I do feel like there are certain things that, each side should bring to the table that may be a little bit different. There should be some tender loving, caring on both sides in the way that both sides do it. I agree with that most certainly, but I'm also about partnership too. So, and I also like, when you have a man who knows when to lead, and leading doesn't mean that they are stumping all over you. Sometimes I don't want to have to make the decision every time. Sometimes I just want to sit back and be like, yes, somebody please go ahead and make a decision so I don't have to do it. Just tell me where to go. Because as we say, a good leader has to know how to be a good follower and has to know when to follow. Now, I say that at the same boat when I said when to follow, okay? Because if someone is leading you in a way that goes against what you feel, what you're saying, how you do, then you stop that in the tracks. That's part of knowing yourself. That's part of commanding, maybe commanding would be better to say, because when you're commanding, it's all encompassing and it glows from you that this is what you want. And it doesn't mean you can't have it just because you may not be in that position either. Just bring something to the table that matches, okay? Now, if you get with someone who says, look, all I'm looking for is this, that, and that, and I'm going to give you all this in the world, girl, do you? But I just think if you're going to start demanding certain things, have something of compensation to bring to the table. And that can mean in a range of everything and anything. That doesn't mean you have to make the same amount of money. It doesn't even mean that you both have to work. It doesn't have to mean any of those things, but there needs to be something that both are able to get, that you can work together and agree upon that this is how it's going to be for you. Because every relationship is different, right? Every relationship is different. Really, like I said, be proactive and intentional. Intentional is a better word. Yeah, we're going to go with the word that actually makes sense. Intentional. Really, that's something that I wish I had did much more of. Like, just step back, in those moments when you had space between a boyfriend or a relationship, maybe sit back and just think, you know what? I didn't like any of this stuff. Right? So I'm not in this for a particular reason. Well, what exactly would make me happy? If I want this type of person or this type of person or this type of person, I need to be intentional in that. So that way you can kind of weed out some of the other stuff. You'd be amazed at how much easier and relieved you are when you already know and have a sense of what you want. And you demand what you want. And when you see foolishness coming your way, you're like, whatever, and out. And you're okay with that, And so Because not every loss is a loss. Yeah. All right. Third one was, this might be another controversial one too. I did some math on this one. You ready for it? When you have two people in a relationship, notice I said two. For anyone that has multiples, I ain't talking to you. I don't know nothing about none of that. And I'm not going to pretend that that's anything I would do. But hey, to each his own. So, for those who believe in just one-on-one, here we go. Bring 100% of yourself, not do 50-50. Because when you do 50-50, like you hear a lot of times, hey, you got to bring 50-50, you got to be 50-50. If you're 50-50, all you do is 100%. Why are you only doing 100% when you got 200 between the two of you together?
Yeah.
Bring your full self, your full intention, your full heart if you're going to be in a relationship. If you're going to be dating someone and you don't have an idea or a clue and nobody's trying to put a label on it, it's not a relationship. And guess what that means? You don't get relationship perks. Oh, no, you don't get relationship perks. You get whatever we're doing perks. Probably a friend. Yeah, you get friend perks. So, yeah, those are my three. Yeah. Girl, aren't you glad we out the game?
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Aren't you just glad that I like being on this side of it? You know, and it all comes from trial and error. It ain't nobody got a perfect situation. There are situations that I would have done differently if given the chance to do it again, you know, of course. I think we all have those kinds of things. And so, you know, don't beat yourself up. You know, if you're kind of messing up on that department, meaning that you're not really putting yourself first and not really understanding what that means, you can start now. Like, it really is okay if you start now. So, you know, just start. I mean, sometimes, you know, you can't be worried about shoulda, coulda, woulda. Just get the lesson now, right? And just start over. Start from now, because this is all that really matters anyways, right? The past is the past. The future hasn't gotten here yet. It's not promised to you. All you got is right now. So, you know, that's the beauty of being able to start over, have a new beginning. You could have one like every second of the day. I mean,
that's so true.
Might make you like this, but you know, hey, it's a great feeling to know I can start over. Like it's not the end. I can start over. So yeah, what you thinking about this love advice? Again, I should be a love guru, don't you think? I think we should be a love guru. We need to get like little badges and stuff. And when we do this again, because yes, we're gonna do this again. We got so much advice to do. I'm gonna put a little badge on here. We might have a little something going on back here. Maybe, I don't know, some kind of uniform shirt or something. I don't know, you know, and we're just going to sit here and we're going to be like, you know, answer any question you got. What you got? What you got? Like, as Mia says, bring it. So, Mia, do you have any other love advice things that off the top of your head right now because that kind of answers all of the questions that we're supposed to get us started on this very good conversation. Like, I'm enjoying this. Like, yeah, let me take some notes here.
I think we're off to a great start.
Already committed. So, you have anything else? What'd you say?
I think we're off to a great start.
So, is there any other advice that we would give, or we covered it pretty well in those three?
I think this is good.
That's really good food for thought in there.
Yeah, I think it is. Why
somebody was around when we needed it? I mean, could have saved us a whole lot of hoopla. Like, where were they?
Oh,
So I tell you, sometimes I wish I could be in a time machine and go back to certain times and be like, why didn't you tell me? You know? Yeah, I mean, it would just be, everybody should help everybody out. It would just be easier. You know, me and the hubby were having a conversation about relationships because we do this from time to time. And, you know, I had a question for him. And the question was very simply, why do, especially when, you know, you're dealing with, you know, the opposites or whatever, you know, not you, right? You and whoever your partner is, no matter what, just you and your partner. Why it seems like some partners, you know, will get with people when they know darn well they don't want to be committed, they don't want to do this, they don't want to do that, but yet they'll just tell you all of those wonderful things, and don't do any of those, drive you crazy along the way, and then you somehow become the villain. I never understood that. I always felt like, you know what, I'd have a lot more respect for you if you just say straight up front what you're looking for. It doesn't matter what it is, because if it's not what I'm looking for, I should have the ability to assess that very quickly, that this ain't gonna work for me, and move on. And you go find someone who wants that from you. Because there are people that are, you know, want the same things, but why would you go to someone who doesn't want what you want? Like,
maybe it's a challenge to them. I don't know. I've never been like that, so I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of think it's crazy. And then people wonder why people are slitting tires and, you know, burning up stuff, scratching cars, throwing bulldozers, rocks. I mean, you know, because you can't be messing with people's emotions, you know? If you need a lesson in that, you need to watch Snapped, 48 Hours, 2020.
Yeah.
Those will get you scared straight on how to treat people. Well, I guess that pretty much wraps up our main event of the evening, was giving that love advice. So look, we want to know your thoughts, of course, community. So please make sure that you are dropping down those comments. Any advice that you would give for a healthy relationship, you'll be much obliged, because you never know who will be reading those comments and find that to be helpful and may even save their life. So, and that's what we're all about. We're about having a good time and saving lives. And if that means saving your mind, that's a good place to start. So yeah, let's all just get in there and just help each other out. I mean, won't you, could you, please, won't you do your part? And so I think we are ready for the finale of our Besties Night-In. I'm excited about our finale. Now, I believe I went first the last time. So would you like to share your 3 good things? Because we are sharing the good news.
Yes. I need some good news. I need some great news. I need some phenomenal news right now.
Phenomenal. Yes.
Come on. Okay, so folks, I was able to find some 3 interesting stories, if you will. The first one, because you know, April and I were military, both of us are Air Force, and I thought this was a really cool one. How many of you guys are familiar with Amelia Earhart? You remember studying her in school? Okay, so aviator Amelia Earhart, she was honored at the state capitol, the state U.S. Capitol, as the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean. And they actually unveiled a statue of her there.
Oh, wow. I did not know this was going on.
Yeah, I didn't either.
How nice.
Yeah, that would have been nice to go to.
How many years did it take?
Too many.
Yeah, too many.
So yes, they had a huge ceremony unveiling her statue at the U.S. Capitol. So the next time I'm in DC, I'm gonna try to go see it. If you're in DC, go check it out. And if you're planning on going there, make that a part of your schedule while you're there. So that would be something cool to see.
Oh, that is a really cool set of good news. Wow, I didn't even know that was happening. Now that's what we should be seeing on CNN, right? I mean, instead of some of the stuff we see, or your news outlet. I mean, you know, World News somebody. That would have been something nice to know. Yeah. Well, you know what probably happens? It'll be reported tomorrow after we've heard it here, you know. Already. You know, we're getting that good word out here. We're getting that good word out. That was a cool one.
Yeah, so that was a pretty cool one. I really liked that one.
Wow.
Yes. So the second one, I thought this was very heart-wrenching to me, but there was actually this was in Binghamton, New York. I've never heard of that part of New York before. Binghamton, New York. I may be mispronouncing that, but it was in New York.
Binghamton.
There was a 7-year-old boy. He saved his choking classmate. Get this. And he learned how to do that from watching The Good Doctor. He saved the life of his classmate.
At 7 years old.
Was choking. Yeah, at 7 years old. And because he watched The Good Doctor, I don't know if you guys are Good Doctor fans. It's a really good show. If you're not watching it, tune in. You never know.
You can save a life.
Yeah, you could save a life. So because he watched that show, when his classmate started choking, he knew what to do and save his classmate's life. So,
oh my gosh.
When they interviewed him, he said that you have to save everybody in life. That's why he did what he did.
Right
7 years old.
Straight out the mouths of babes.
Yeah. So that was a really good one. I was like, oh, that's so beautiful.
There's like zero excuse for adults in their buffoonery. Like zero excuse for adults in their buffoonery. Look at that. That boy, it ain't about he's gonna be somebody. He is somebody. And watch, he's gonna be somebody even more. Do you know how? Wow.
Yeah, at 7 years old.
What a legacy. And did it correctly.
Yeah.
So these people who like say, oh, you can argue in front of children, they won't know, they're too young. You never know what they are.
Kids are smart. Kids are exceptional. Now, I was smart when I was a kid. Okay, I was smart. Now, for kids now, they're brilliant. I mean, they're like little geniuses running around.
They are. And I mean, my God.
I'm like, how did they know to do that? One of my girlfriends, her little niece, how old is her little niece? I think she's like 3. But she's the cutest little thing. And she climbed up on the counter the other day because she wanted some cookies. And she climbed up on the counter and she got a cookie. And when she realized, oh, there's more up here, she climbed back up there and got some more. They didn't know that she did that. They thought that her mother and her grandmother thought that, the other one gave them the cookies.
Right.
Gave her the cookie. And they were like, no, I didn't give her that. You didn't give her that. How'd she get that? She climbed up on there on the got the cookies.
Got the million cookies. You see, you gotta watch a little kid sometimes. Yeah. But it's so funny you say that because I just saw this one young lady and I didn't quite understand why she did this. And more or less because of the age of the child. Like the child's like 1 year old. And so she got this ladder to where you're allowed to, you put the ladder up against like a ladder stool kind of thing up against the counter. So they can be at counter height. And I didn't quite understand the purpose in doing that at that age. Because are you trying to promote her to go run up there and do stuff that you clearly don't, you're going to have problems. You have problems now and showing you're having issues now keeping up with her. And so you're just giving her methods to use to get up there and get, other things, that they shouldn't be getting. And I've never seen it before. I don't know if it's a new thing happening now, but I was like, the kid is like just turned 1 year old. Why do they need to be walking up the ladder and sitting on the counter? What purpose does that serve? And then I guess, I think she thinks it's cute that she's wiping the counter. So I guess we're domesticating them now. I mean, we can't let her just be a kid. So I don't understand that. But I guess it's cute. How old was this little one? That
7.
was eating the cookies? The cookies.
Oh, no, she's like 3.
That makes more sense. I mean, it really does. That one, there's no reason for them to be up there.
Yeah, she was 3.
Because 3 years old. She knew what she was doing, right?
Yeah, she knew. They didn't realize that she could climb like that, so they were kind of surprised.
They better watch it because she's gonna be like running circles around them. They might want to start getting hip to the game.
Yeah, I think she's gonna start preschool this year. So.
She'll probably be in college next year.
Oh, she's a trip. She's funny.
But it is so funny to see their personalities too. So that is too cute. And knew what she was doing. That is, I love it. That's hilarious. Yeah. So what's your third one?
Okay. So we're gonna go to Arizona. In Arizona, there was a mother who had a brain tumor. She was fighting cancer. She had a brain tumor, unfortunately. But there was a man there in her local community that grew out his hair for 2 years.
I think I heard this.
To make a wig for her.
Oh, a random stranger.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
He heard about her story. And he wanted to do something for her, so he let his hair grow out for 2 years, and that was more than enough hair to make a nice wig for her. So it was
How
pretty
lovely
cool.
Is that? How lovely is that? See, there is good in the world.
Yes. Yes.
Lord have mercy. There is good in the world. Wow, that's really sweet. That is really, really sweet. And all the difference that will make for her and has made for her. I mean, that's a pretty touching thing to do, especially when, just a total stranger just trying to do a good thing. Good Samaritan, right? Doing a good thing. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. All right. Ooh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to top them good news. But you know what's the beauty of that? We don't have to, because we have it all. I love it. Okay, we ready?
Yes.
All right, so let's go ahead and put us this way.
Ooh.
And ooh. I love it when it just pops up like that. All right, so I'm going to kind of read through this story because there's a lot of wonderful things involved in there a little bit. And I just thought it was really cute. So I'm going to read through it real quick, okay? Just kind of bear with me. Enjoy, relax. You ain't got no place else to be right now, but listen to us anyway. So here we go. This is 7-year-old Messiah is a hero after rescuing a drowning 3-year-old all on his own. Ooh. So what are these babies doing, Mia? What are they doing?
They're doing a lot more than we're doing.
They are saving lives around here. Legacies. I mean, my goodness. So here we go. Another 7-year-old. Now, he's from Sacramento. He was the unlikely savior of a 3-year-old toddler who would have certainly drowned without help. Last week, 7-year-old Messiah Brown went down to enjoy the pool at the apartment complex where he lives when he noticed out of the ordinary. He said, I was just playing in the pool and then I saw a boy at the bottom of the pool. Oh, Messiah, a second grade student, told Good Morning America, and he said, and I went to go get him. So he just happened to see this little boy out there looking like, that don't look right, what's happening, and I just went to go do it because that's just what we do. That's what we do here. So further says, swimming down into 6 feet of water, 6 feet of water. I don't even go beyond 3 feet. He grabbed the arm of the 3-year-old toddler. I don't even understand. This is like amazing. Whose eyes and mouth were open, and managed to pull him to the surface, where a relative of Messiah's, a 9-year-old Savannah, helped them both out into solid ground. Whoa, those kids come from good stock, don't they? Mm-hmm. His cousin went and helped him pull out the little boy and him after.
Man, you know what? When I was 7, I was eating dirt.
Not dirt.
I was eating dirt. I was making mud pies at 7. I wasn't doing anything.
Wow.
I wasn't doing anything like this. I wasn't doing anything like this. I was eating dirt.
I'm not gonna be able to drink anymore tonight.
Oh my goodness. Oh boy.
You just feel so inadequate. Oh my God, that was so funny. Oh yeah. All right, so.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Okay, so adults who had caught wind of what was happening had called 911 and raced down to help. According to ABC, Savannah's mom performed CPR on the child, who was helped to breathe again by the same fire and rescue that arrived.
Wow.
The child was transported in critical condition with advanced life support efforts provided by Sacramento firefighters. Like this was serious. A spokesperson from Sacramento Fire Department said, "Oh God, this is Messiah.
Oh, how cute,
Judy." But Messiah's father, Marcus, who was an Olympic boxer, who represented the United States at the 2012 Olympics in London, which I remember the Olympics in London. I remember that time frame. It really wasn't that long ago, but I do remember. Said his son loves the water and swims like a fish, but that despite the surprise, it really types into who Messiah is. He says he's super empathetic. So for him to do something like that, I mean, it's really nothing out of the norm. It's just crazy that he's 7 years old and he's doing something like that.
That is awesome.
It sounds like a proud papa to me. Oh my gosh. So here you go, Mia. Between your youngsters and this young man here. I mean, wow.
I've fallen short in my life.
You ain't alone, girl. You ain't alone. That is so good. So good. Oh my gosh. It's amazing. It's amazing. Okay, so let's see what my second story is. Let's see. Story number 2. Okay, now this was interesting. They're saying that more young adults are renting next door to retired folks with intergenerational benefits. Now, I did hear that some of the younger generations are going into the situation where they're like platonic relationships as roommates. So they're opting to roommate with someone just on a friend-to-friend base and that be their last partner. Like they're not looking for anything else. But that was different, So here we go. The latest housing trend in America has nothing to do with the decor or open concepts, but rather the rise of intergenerational roommates, described as separated by at least one generation. Intergenerational roommate arrangements are growing in the United States. I did not know that. And intergenerational houses have quadrupled since 1971. Pick your explanation. Growing isolation among the elderly, eternally rising rents almost anywhere near a coastal city, average life expectancy, increasing, meaning we're, lasting longer, an aging population, decreased birth rate, or rising college tuition. The fact of the matter is that the older the folks, the fact of the matter is that older folks have space available and tend to be happy to have a young person around. I can see the benefits, especially if there's someone who has like grandchildren or whatnot. Mm-hmm. I can see that. It says in March of 2021, there were 59.7 million U.S. residents who lived with multiple generations under one roof. Yes, I can see that. I can see it. It was perfect. Judith has become like my family, said Nadia Abdullah, a 25-year-old robotics student in Massachusetts, who in 2019 moved in with the 64-year-old attorney, Judith. Interesting. And probably can get some free legal advice too along the way. The arrangement of $700 a month plus help around the house has put her just 6 miles from Boston and 30 minutes from her robotics job in Beverly, Massachusetts. Judith and Nadia were matched together thanks to Nesterly, a renting hub specifically designed to create I don't know why I'm having a hard time with that word, intergenerational roommates. Through Nesterly, I lived with Sarah while attending Harvard, writes a young Nesterly reviewer named Kaplan, who provided the exact sort of insight into the service one would imagine. She provided the type of a repository, I don't know why, I'm literally not even drinking anything, of knowledge you just can't Google, showing me how to garden, to gut a fish. Good on you. I'll pass on that, but that's great. And inject French romanticism into life. So they're learning all kinds of skills that it's just, you know what it sounds like? A social experiment that people are missing who don't seem to have that, or more in the other things that don't require you to hang out with each other, tell stories, talk about generations past, the things that a lot of us were doing when we were growing up in our young age. There's a definitely a need for connection, and I think it works on both parts. So you're talking, it's easy sometimes to look up something online and I'll learn how to do this, or I can go to YouTube channel and tell me how to do this, but when you have somebody show you, yeah, it is. And it also is a bonding experience too, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, that is so cool. And so my next, there's more. Okay. The Washington Post details that an opera singer and other musicians in training were able to live rent-free in a retirement community on the arrangements that they perform concerts for the residents every so often. That I can see that. That's like, reminds me of a movie or something. Canada Home Share is a similar service that paired 85-year-old Michael Wartis, a retired physics professor from Burnaby, British Columbia, with 27-year-old Sabian Ennis, a health sciences graduate student who, by moving in with Wartis, got to bail out of a shared home with 3 extra roommates. So yeah, he saved him from a situation he wanted to get out of. Biologically speaking, an arrangement such as Ennis and Wartis is kind of the natural state of humanity. While almost all animals rapidly die off after they become too old to procreate, humans are capable of living decades beyond the point of infertility. This we know, right? Scholars believe that this is because our intelligence and life experiences imparted into the next generation. So teach one, know one, grow one, they say.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it acts as a secondary way to ensure our genetics are passed on, i.e., if you can live long enough to explain to your children and grandchildren exactly which mushrooms they can eat, which snakes are poisonous, how to hunt with a bow and arrow, those offspring will have a better chance of survival than a Perel family unit who loses their parents early on, because they're having the opportunity and the benefit of someone teaching, sharing. Yeah, letting them know that just because you're born doesn't mean that that's when life began.
Right.
You know, sometimes, you know, youngsters have a hard time with that, or, you know, when you're getting into certain, like maybe in your adolescence years, you know, you may think you know everything. No, you really don't, because one thing my mom used to always say, you got to go where I already been. And so you might as well get the wisdom and the lessons. It will help you instead of going and making the same mistakes or worse, right? You know, it's okay to listen to someone who's already been there before you. I mean, look, there's a lot of things that go on in life, right, that are repetitive. So, you know, I don't know why. And well, you know what? Here's my theory about that. Probably because people don't listen to other people when they try to give advice. You know? So, yeah. So that was story number 2. And here's a picture of Michael Wartis and Siobhan Ennis. And they are roommates. They look like granddaughter and grandfather, don't they? And they look really happy. It really is cool. And, you know, it's nice to have people around because it makes you feel young. And then my third one is, well, this was good for somebody.
Yeah. I don't think they named the person yet.
No,
yeah.
I wouldn't. And if they did, I wouldn't probably put it on here anyways. I would just say, here's a link. You go out there and look at it if you want to. Because we talked about that, right? About someone that was outed, and I'm sure she didn't want to be outed. But the Mega Millions did hit on August 2nd, 2022. Yeah. So that's a good thing for someone. The jackpot got pretty big. It was 1.33 billion. Lord have mercy. I think it was only one person that hit it.
It was in Chicago.
Yes, Illinois. Well, I don't think it was Chicago. You know, it wasn't Chicago, but it was a city not too far from Chicago, because I was asking the hubby. I was like, did anybody in? You know, he's like, no. But he knew, and he knows where the town was, but it's not that far from Chicago. And I think he was actually surprised, like how we were thinking, how close it was to Chicago. He was surprised, but yeah, it's I think like kind of a suburban town, city, or something else.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So they said that they didn't have no jackpot on. There was no jackpot winner Tuesday night in the first drawing since the record-breaking 1.3 billion prize was won, which means they ain't had no more money for nobody else. So woohoo to the winner of that. Now I did hear that well, there's a couple of other tickets that hit, not of that size. They had, like in Atlanta, it was a couple million, 2 millionaires the same night had won. Also a different pot, right? Because the mega is what national, I guess, and anyone in the state can win that one, right? So I don't even know where it even starts at. Yeah. And I think I saw something about maybe a couple families in New Jersey, like they won smaller pots, but there was some others, you know. But hey, $1 million is they ain't nothing to sneeze at either, you know. But 1.3 billion, well, I tell you what, you have not hit the echelon. Take off the taxes, you've hit an echelon of people that, you know, you in there. You are in there.
You're right.
So yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is the good news.
Yes.
This was so fun. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed you, Mia.
I'm funny.
Yeah, you are hilarious. And I mean, that was pretty funny. We have to go and, like, I don't know, we need to get our life now, because these kids are, man.
You're showing us up big time.
I mean, what? They'll be here saving legacies, for real. I mean, my goodness, the devastation that would have happened if, in fact, these two youngsters, this tells you, man, it don't matter who, what age, anything, you have the potential to be a hero. I mean, woo, so crazy. These were good stories. Yay. And we did some good love advice, I think, too. I think we did a good job with that.
Yeah.
Now, community, if you know any good stories that have been going around, either with you or anyone feel free to share them down below. We want all the goodness that we can get from all directions that we can get it from. Because, hey, it's always good to get some good news, because at the end of the day, the alternative is way too much. So we need a balance. Even if it just means we can step away for an hour and kind of stay in that moment, right? So do you know any other additional stories? Go ahead, feel free. I will be sure to drop the questions in the description area, so that way you can answer some of your advice questions you would get for love. And if you agree with anything that we said, hey, give us a shout out on that too. I mean, look, just trying to save lives. We're not the 7-year-olds out here saving lives, but we're trying to do our part. But they are showing us up for real. But yeah, and I will leave the links for a couple of those stories too, so you can feel free to go out there and check it out yourself. And yeah, I think that kind of about wraps up tonight's Besties Night In. Yes. Yeah, girl, number 3 in the can. So we are, as usual. I mean, first, I guess I should ask you, is there anything last you want to say before any parting words before we
I'm just glad that we were able to be here. I'm so glad that the community showed up in a big way, and I'm looking forward to our next episode.
And Mia shared with y'all she ate dirt. Peter got to talk about that, because I didn't know these things. I mean, look, y'all, you're getting transparency over here, right? I mean, honestly, I probably would have kept that one. See, we talk about them secrets. I probably would have shared that. So the fact that she did it, she brave. Yes, you're funny. All right, everybody. Well, we are wishing you a blessed rest of the week and a good weekend. Be safe out there. Come back and keep coming back. And yeah, you've seen the information down at the bottom screen running. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. We would love to have you as part of the community. Give this video a like if you're enjoying Besties Night In. We would so appreciate that. And yeah, we're just going to keep it going. I'm also going to drop this one down here too. Now, here we go, because I want you to get this information too. Mia has got wonderful things going on. So check her out at Women Doing Our Thing. And yeah, the website's still good and all that, right, Mia? All right, and you can see her on Instagram and all that too. So go out there, follow. She got great stuff going on, and yeah, we're just doing it here. We're just living our best lives. I mean, come on. And I gotta go get my life, because there's 7-year-olds over here saving lives. Jeez, that's amazing. I mean, they would get ice cream every day. So, anyways, yeah. So I think on that note, we are going to peace out, and we will see you next time. Bye. Bye, y'all.